Hello, it's Echo. Welcome to my glorious channel. This video is going to be a little bit different because it's just an anime recommendation. You like anime? I know you do. It's okay. We're all weebs here. I just want to talk to you about an anime that I saw when I was in high school, and then recently, for some reason, I was thinking about it and I went back and I watched it again. And I really liked it. I feel like it's something that is worth experiencing if you like that slice of life feeling. So if you are an anime watcher, I would like to humbly suggest Moyashimon. Moyashimon is a kind of slice of life anime from 2007 about a college freshman named Tadayasu Sawaki. I hope I'm saying that right. He is a college freshman who is starting school at an agricultural university in the Japanese countryside. But Tadayasu has a special secret power. He can see microbes. He can see mold, bacteria, yeast, and basically any microorganism with his naked eyes. He's basically a human microscope. At this school, he's studying under a professor who specializes in fermentation, which is a process that involves using microorganisms to create things like alcohol or kimchi or natto or miso. We also use microorganisms to create things like bread and yogurt and cheese. Humans have been using microorganisms in our food since the dawn of civilization. So now I want to go over some of the reasons that I really like this anime. For starters, it's very short. It's only 11 episodes. I cannot get into One Piece or JoJo because it will suck me down a rabbit hole and you will not see me for like 3 weeks. Supernatural was a time commitment for me. I like anime that I can binge in a day or enjoy slowly over the course of a week. All of my favorite anime are like 6 to 12 episodes. If you guys like this, maybe I will cover some of the other anime that I really like. So please like this video. I like short, simple, slice of life anime. Maybe I'll watch some 24 episode ones every now and then, but most of the anime that I really enjoy are relatively short. Each episode is about 24 minutes, so the total runtime is about 4.5 hours, which is not bad for an anime. It's kind of like a really long movie. You could watch that in a day if you wanted to. There is technically a follow-up season that's like a different series that was made years after the first one. I'll talk about that later, but right now I'm just talking about the one season of Moyashimon that was produced. Also, there was a live action series. Again, I'm not going to be talking about that because I haven't seen it, so I can't recommend it. Basically what I'm saying is if you end up really liking this anime, there is some more content that you can dive into if you want. Also, the manga ran like forever, so there's a lot of content for this IP if you really want more. One of my absolute favorite things about this anime is that it takes place at a college campus. Why do so many anime take place in high school? I cannot relate to a high schooler, but when I was in high school, I could relate to college kids because it gave me something to look forward to. Also, you're not gonna feel like a creep if you're attracted to the characters. Look at this hot girl. Look at this amazing goth girl. She's getting a master's degree. As a person with a bachelor's degree who went to a state university and lived on campus, this show, now that I'm watching it in adulthood, feels so nostalgic because it really, really captures that college feeling. It's such a good representation of college life. They have like campus activities and college traditions and really gross dorms. Which, if you've ever lived in a campus, you know there's always like at least one gross dorm, or there's like a person who is just really gross in their dorm, or you were the person who was gross in your dorm, because that's just dorm life. You're figuring out how to take care of yourself for the first time, and some people just happen to be kind of bad at it. You know who you are. Another incredible thing about this anime that I just love slice of life for the specific reason, it's low stakes. Yes, the main character technically has a superpower, but he's not saving the world. It's not even like a life or death situation. It's just college. I love that about slice of life anime. It's not stressful. I just love that incredible like nostalgic feeling for the present where you can just kind of sit with yourself and feel like life is good. It just makes you feel like everything is gonna be okay and that the world is beautiful as it is. Also, it's educational! Most of the episodes are built around themes of the history of brewing in Japan or fermenting foods or illnesses like the flu. And at the end of every single episode, after the credits roll, there's this thing called microbe theater, where the microbe of that episode gets to come out and talk about itself. It's so adorable, and you actually get to learn really cool things about how humans have been using microbes and or running from them. This next part I want to preface with this anime came out in 2007. YouTube was 1 year old, okay? This was like a decade and a half ago. If you're 15 years old, this anime is as old as you are. But despite that, there is queer representation in this anime. If you don't want any spoilers and you want to go into this kind of blind, I am going to recommend skipping to this time code. Take 4.5 hours, watch it, come back if you want. There is a character who is very clearly queer. The character I want to talk about is kind of hard to put a label on because, again, this was Japan in like 2004 was when the manga was made. Labels were not as commonly understood, and also this character just really feels like a person in college trying to discover their own identity. So really the best way that I can describe this character is just queer, because this is an individual who is in college kind of discovering themselves, which again is just so nostalgic for the college experience of what it's like to figure out who you are in your early 20s. The best way that I can think to describe this character is either a goth trans woman or a gay cross-dressing man. The main reason that I would say this character is like relatively good representation is because they're not the butt of a joke. They're just a character who is trying to figure out their identity and figure themselves out, and the rest of this person's friends basically just accept them. There is one homophobic moment, which again is representative of the early 2000s, that is immediately stomped out. Basically one character is like, I'm homophobic. And then another character is like, no, that's your friend. And then that's it. And then everything goes back to normal. The one instance of homophobia is not treated as like an inherent truth within the media. It's actually treated as something to be stomped out and stopped. I think it was handled wonderfully, considering that this was made in 2007, written in 2004. That's what it was like in that time period, and that's how it needed to be responded to. This anime came out 8 years before the legalization of gay marriage in the US. That being said, this is an anime from the early 2000s, and there are a couple things that don't quite hold up. For starters, because this anime was originally translated in the early 2000s, the pronouns when they are addressing the queer character are a little iffy. We have a very different understanding of like language and pronouns and gender now, so I think that certain aspects of the translation would be different if this anime had been translated now. I have been studying Japanese for a while. I'm still learning. I'm very much a beginner. I would struggle to pass the N5. That being said, my understanding of Japanese pronouns is that there are non-gendered Japanese pronouns that basically translate to that person. Also, Japanese is not a very subject-based language, so a lot of the time you wouldn't even use pronouns the way that you do in English. That being said, there are gendered like suffixes like chan and kun, which I'm sure you know. Basically, I just want to bring this up because there is a potential that the translations might feel misgendering, but basically I just wanted to bring that up as a potential concern so that you can have it in mind for when you're going into this, so you know what you're getting into, just in case. There's also kind of like a love potion-y kind of episode, which other people have pointed out that love potions are kind of not consent-y. Using chemicals to force someone to be attracted to you is kind of It's resolved in a consensual way, but it just doesn't speak well of some characters. Some things in media we look back on with disgust, like the Great Boy from My Hero Academia is going to be looked back on with disdain. He is awful. I hate this Great Boy so much. Someone pop him, please. Something I want to talk about before I go anywhere is Moyashimon Returns. Basically, in 2007, the first anime came out, and then they revived it and did a second season like 7 years later. I don't like it. I haven't finished it. I don't know if they develop more on the queer characters, but look at what they did to my boy. Season 1, he looks like a college student. He's tired and his life sucks. He just doesn't want to deal with freshman bullshit. I feel his spirit. This is a child. You took a college man and made him a child. Why did you do that? I don't know how else to describe the revival other than it looks too anime. It looks like a kid's anime now. It feels like they took the original series and just sanded off all the edges. And now it's all squishy and Pokemon-y. Just bring back my college friends. I want my tired college people. What is your favorite anime? If you know any short 12 to 24-ish episode anime that are just like nice slice of life, please let me know. I don't mind investing in short media knowing that there might not be more because I prefer the low investment. But that's all I have for you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and I will see you later. Goodbye.